So 9:15 is our 6.2 presentation of proclamation appointing Georgina Maria Guardado as Lake County Poet Laureate for the years 2022 through 2024. And Supervisor Pyska will conduct the proclamation.
The Board of Supervisors, County of Lake, State of California, proclamation appointing Georgina Marie Guardado as Lake County Poet Laureate for the years 2022 to 2024. Whereas the County of Lake recognizes the contributions of poetry and the arts for enriching the literacy and cultural attributes of society, and whereas the County of Lake acknowledges the relationship between poetry and political freedom in the exercise of free speech in forms recognizable by people all over the world, and whereas the County of Lake recognizes that poetry represents one of the most enduring forms of expression and contributes to the historical continuity of civilization, and whereas the function of the Poet Laureate is to encourage poetry and writing among Lake County residents by stimulating literacy and creativity in spoken and written form, and whereas the Poet Laureate of Lake County is designated to represent the Board of Supervisors at civic and cultural events. Now, therefore, be it wholeheartedly proclaimed that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Lake does hereby appoint Georgina Marie Guardado as the Lake County Poet Laureate for the years 2022 to 2024, passed and adopted this first day of March 2022.
All right. Georgina, I see you online. Would you like to say a few words?
Yes, thank you so much for this proclamation and for taking the time. I know poetry is not necessarily the highest priority given the pandemic, but it is one way that our community is getting by, especially artists and writers. Many newcomers who are realizing that creative writing and poetry can give us some healing and a way to process all that we're going through. So I appreciate you taking the time and all of the work that the Board of Supervisors are doing collectively during these hard times. And I wonder if I could read one poem to commemorate.
By all means.
Thank you. So two other things that I like to focus on as Poet Laureate is diversity and animal rescue as well, since we have some issues with that in Lake County. So this poem kind of ties those two together. Other. Year after year, day after day, seconds after seconds, canines multiply like rabbits in a springtime frenzy. Two of them have found their way on my now saliva-lined sofa, sleeping soundly, sighing softly as they inhale safety and exhale their worry in the comfort of their stable home. She, named after an African country, Kenya, motherland, for her strength. He, named after a seminal word, Miko, chief, ruler of my heart. Both breeds considered a threat. The Mexican-born German in her, the fight in him, all existing in me. My Mexican genes seen as a threat to America, home of the brave and the drug-sniffing Latinx. The underdogs we all are, human, animal. I see these big magical beings as holy, like I see my brown skin, a reflection of earth, of soil, of how we are all multiplied in this world, how we start out as cells and blood, and there is no brownness or whiteness or fear in the beginning, how we all enter this world to a first breath as science, as magic, how some of us go from there to needing to be rescued, from being discarded as nothings, as others, how we then rescue each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was very good. Thank you very much for that.
I had a question for Georgina.
Yes.
I believe that you either were elected or are involved at a federal level for poets. Wondering if you can give us a little bit of what you've been doing and what that all entails.
Yes, thank you for asking. So in June of 2021, I was appointed as a Poets Laureate Fellow with the Academy of American Poets. The Academy is the largest national supporter of poetry and the arts, and they have the most funding available as well. So as part of my fellowship, I had submitted a project proposal for my community. What I chose to do, since we're so rural in Lake County, is to bring visual representation of poetry to the people. So I've been doing that by means of poetry boxes. You may see some of those up in Kelseyville, Clear Lake. There's 2 in Middletown. Also little poetry libraries, which are like the free libraries, which will be stocked with poetry books, and also murals for communities who wish to have murals. So those 3 options are available, and they're going up around the county, different locations. So far we have Clear Lake, Middletown. We have some in the works for Upper Lake and Lakeport. I'm still looking for areas in some of the more spread out regions like Clear Lake Oaks and Nice. There's also a lot of information about it on my website, which is georginamurraypoet.com. And I'd love to continue working with the Board of Supervisors and many other organizations and businesses to bring this project around the county. It's fully funded by the Academy, which is amazing.
Thank you so much for representing us on a national scale like that.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for your contributions, Georgina. Is there anyone that would like to, that has public input? And I don't see anybody in the chambers. And does anybody see what's going on with Zoom? Mine just went off for some reason.
There are no hands at this moment in Zoom.
Okay, so we'll bring it back to the board. Thank you again, and you have a great day. And we will now bring it back to the board to move on to item 6.3.